Two men, Butch Haynes and his comrade Terry Pugh, escape from prison. They make their escape in the state of Texas, stealing a car and setting off on their journey. Butch is a man with a troubled past and tries to remain calm, but Terry behaves impulsively and aggressively. As they drive through quiet country neighborhoods, the tension between them grows. When they steal a car to escape pursuit, their path crosses the house of a woman named Gladys Perry, who is raising her son Philip. Terry, eager to survive at all costs, decides to take the child hostage to ensure their safety. Butch, disapproving of this act, nevertheless agrees not to complicate the situation. Philip is a boy of about 8 years old, quiet and withdrawn, who lives with his mother. Their home is a strict religious place that does not celebrate holidays and does not allow children to live freely. His mother forbids the boy from attending parties, participating in the fun, even wearing Halloween costumes. Philip becomes an unwilling participant in this unexpected journey, but a bond quickly forms between him and Butch. Butch, despite his criminal nature, shows unexpected warmth and concern for the boy, trying to protect him from Terry's rough treatment. As they travel further afield, the situation escalates. Terry begins to behave even more violently, threatening Philip, but Butch stands up for him. In one moment of tension, Butch takes control and gets rid of Terry, sparing himself and the boy from his cruelty. This act becomes pivotal in the development of their relationship. Now Butch and Philip are left alone, setting off without a definite goal, like a strange pair of a fugitive and his little hostage. Meanwhile, a police team is on their trail, led by Red Garnett, an experienced and wise sheriff who realizes that the situation is more complicated than meets the eye. Red knows Butch's past, as he himself was once involved in his fate. Red's team is joined by a young member of the criminology department, Sally Gerber, who scientifically tries to understand Butch's behavior and the motives behind his actions. They have the task of catching Butch before the situation gets out of hand. On the road, Butch and Philip stop at different places. Butch shows the boy a world he has never seen before. They visit fairs, taste candy, play, and even try on Halloween costumes. These moments fill Philip with the joy he was deprived of at home. Butch, despite his past, tries to give the boy a taste of freedom and happiness that he himself has never experienced. He buys him toys, sweets, and helps him feel like a normal child. But at the same time, Butch doesn't forget the reality of being chased and time working against them. Along the way, a deep bond is forged between them. Butch becomes a kind of father figure to Philip that the boy never had. He tells him about his childhood, the hardships he went through, and how he ended up in prison. Butch tries to pass on his life lessons to the boy, even though he himself realizes that their journey together cannot end happily. However, tensions rise when Butch loses control of his emotions. In one episode, they stay at the home of an elderly farmer and his family. At first, everything seems calm. They talk, eat dinner together, and Philip even starts to feel safe. But when Butch notices how the landlord treats the boy roughly, he loses his temper. His anger becomes uncontrollable. He threatens the farmer, and Philip sees the darker side of his protector for the first time. This moment makes the boy realize that his new friend is a complex man in whom good and evil are intertwined in the strangest ways. Meanwhile, the police are getting closer. Red Garnett continues to track their path, using his knowledge of Butch to predict his actions. He realizes that good lives in Butch despite his crimes and wants to capture him alive to give him a chance. However, not all of Red's team members share his opinion. Some of them only see Butch as a dangerous criminal who needs to be eliminated. Philip, despite his affection for Butch, begins to have doubts. He sees his new friend struggling with inner demons. At one point, he finds a hidden gun and, frightened, takes it with him. This decision becomes a major turning point in their story. At the climax of the story, Butch and Philip find themselves in an open field where they are caught up by the police. Butch, realizing that their time is up, tells Philip that he must be strong and live his life. He wants the boy to remember this adventure as a lesson in freedom and courage. But Philip, seeing that his friend could be killed, suddenly pulls out a gun. At this moment, the tension reaches its peak. Everyone holds their breath, not knowing what will happen next. Events unfold tragically. Red Garnett, trying to prevent disaster, tries to convince Butch to surrender. However, the situation spirals out of control and one of the policemen shoots Butch despite Red's protests. Philip's shocked screams rushes to his friend, but it is too late. Butch dies but leaves behind an indelible mark on the boy's life. Philip returns home, but he is different. This experience has changed him forever, making him stronger and wiser. He learned that the world is not black and white, that even in the most difficult people can be found good, and in the most difficult situations hope. Butch, despite his fate, gave the boy what he had been deprived of, a sense of freedom and self-confidence.